Hi. I want to reflect a little bit on a workshop that's probably the most unpopular workshop that I offer. And that workshop is around the therapeutic relationship. I wondered about this. I mean, sometimes I disguise that I'm talking about the therapeutic relationship by calling it something else, and that seems to be more popular. I have wondered around what is it about this that is unattractive to people, and I've decided that people who are interested in narrative ideas and practices have a dominant viewpoint that if they decenter themselves in the therapeutic conversation, that this is sufficient to protect the people they work with from an imposition of meaning. Other groups believe that, given that I am labelled a narrative therapist, that the views that I have on therapeutic relationships are not so interesting to them, and because they prefer notions such as transference and countertransference. I think it's time for us to have conversations about different ways of describing the experience within the therapeutic relationship. When I thought back on the books I've written over the years, one of the things I think that I've been pursuing is a way to describe and explore with people the experiences they have within the therapeutic conversation, or any conversation actually. And so most people describe experience in very definitive ways, such as you make me feel unsafe, I feel criticised by you, etc. In the therapeutic work, the experiences that the person I'm working with has with me, or had within the therapeutic environment, is sometimes, and most times, critical to a negotiation of meaning. And sometimes those experiences are possibilities for a new, if you like, narrative thread, a discovery platform. You know, I took the taking of a risk to disclose something. So I'm not so much interested in whether somebody took the risk or didn't take the risk. It's the process of coming to this within a power relation that really interests me, because as we research that with somebody, we are bringing forward a knowledge that that person can then use in their life and other circumstances. So the experience of the conversation, as well as the experience of the other, or the experience of myself, is something I need to be able to research. And the way I research this is through describing experience using relational expressions. Now, when I describe experiences using relational expressions, it positions me, as I describe it, on a hilltop, so that I'm positioned looking in on this experience rather than this experience is either true or false. Now, I don't stay on the hilltop. I describe the experience, and then I might move right back into the experience again. So that's moving between places. I'm highlighting moving between places rather than staying in one place. It's impossible, in my view, to stay in a decentered place. We're going to be moving. We're going to move from being in the action, if you like, to reflecting on the action. That's what I'd like me to be able to do. I'm also wanting the people I'm working with to also move into that place as well. So the experience, and that includes feeling states, body states, the experience of this conversation is a really important part of a narrative construction with people whom I'm working with in individual work. So I'll give you an example of this where somebody might say, I don't feel safe with you. That's a very strong statement. I might be then researching, for example, was there ever a degree of safety in this relationship? When did you notice this shifting? And what could we do to start to rebuild enough safety for this conversation to continue? Now those questions imply that safety is a relational construct rather than safety exists within me as a therapist or within the other person. It doesn't pathologise the other for having that experience, nor does it pathologise myself in that, perhaps, which I think is some people may be inclined to do, and I would strongly recommend that they don't. Therapists don't do that. So the experiential, how we utilise that within therapeutic environments is a critical part of the kind of therapy that I'm interested in. And as we use, for example, relational expressions to explore direct experience, then we're in a much stronger position to consider each person within this therapeutic relationship as a contributor to the meaning that's made within this relationship. So I've done quite a lot of talking and writing around the therapeutic relationship, and if you're interested in this, please pursue this. But however, out of session, if you're one of the things that you can do to develop skills in this area is to first of all notice the experiences you're having with the people you're working with, to hold those experiences, to, once you leave the session, to relationally express those experiences, and then with a colleague perhaps explore what that means. Now as you're exploring this, what the intention around this is to develop more competency in sessions, more competency around asking or negotiating what the experience, negotiating the meaning that people are making of the experiences they have in the moment in the therapeutic relationship. I hope that's useful.